one of my oldest stories, I forget what I did with it. It's probably at my dad's house, but there's a story that I wrote that was about a little girl who was playing with either her brother or her friend in a barn somewhere in the South, and this girl has these kid gloves like the ones that are in Alice in Wonderland that I believe the rabbit wore, kid gloves or kid gloves or whatever they're, and they the whole idea was she got those gloves for her birthday or Christmas or something, and she has these gloves on, and they are pure white, so they symbolize purity. And the big thing that I was using was the symbolism of colors in that story. And the boy is wearing a executioner's hood that he's made out of some black cloth or something. And they are running around. The executioner's hood is like a toy that's that has a little bit of foreshadowing to it, which foreshadowing is when you allude or imply that something would happen in the future, such as death. And so I was actually inspired to write it because of Alice in Wonderland, but also because of another Owl Creek Bridge, yes, and also I wrote it due to having A Rose from Emily with William Faulkner, or by William Faulkner, not with him, but the whole idea is that this is during Depression era time, and these two children are playing tag. They're in an old barn, and the father is and mother are the farmers, and they're in the house, but these two kids who are alone, a drunk comes in and wanders into the scene, and he is intoxicated, and he is stumbling around, and so there's an old record player that they got that these kids had that's playing, and it's playing some kind of song. I forget what it was. I don't know if I specified the song that it was playing, but it would have been more of a Southern Gothic kind of revivalist like song, or like something you would go square dancing to, really. But so these children are playing, and they are so what happens is this man who's drunk stumbles into the story, into the barn, and he's looking for in order to be a ranch or farmhand or whatever, and so he's looking for a job, but you don't know why he's drunk or what's happened in his life that makes him so that gave him the addiction. I guess I could have looked into that more now that I'm older, but at the time that I wrote it, I was a junior in high school. And what happens is the story starts out where the girl is singing, and she has mania as a child, and so does the boy. So they're both very hyperactive children, and you could say that the boy has the ADHD, and she has more of like a bipolar kind of situation going on. And so she's wearing these kid gloves. The boy has an executioner hood on that's black, and the man who's the drunk who stumbles into the story into the barn, he throws this while the record player's playing like these square dancing songs. He is in I think it was Little Miss Sunshine or Sunshine or something. The song about the Louisiana governor, but it's actually meant as My Little Sunshine or something. It was meant as actual kind of like as a lament, but the drunk he talks to them and he interrupts this manic chase moment, and things just seem psychotically off in the story, and the guy throws a bottle of whiskey or vodka or whatever it is, and the bottle hits a rope that is tying down a rafter or a board that is hanging from the ceiling by the rope through a metal loop, and there's like a sharp end on this board, and so the suspense builds through the awkward psychotic kindness of the story. And what happens is the two kids are standing there, and when the beam comes down, it swings low and it pierces both children through the stomach, and so this blood from their bodies ends up splattering on the kid gloves and the executioner hood. And so it was really a sad story. It was very violent, but at the same time, it was all about the tenseness of the moment, and I had to stretch that time out in order to make it a longer story. So I would mention like minute details, and there's something that Edgar Allan Poe said about the writing process involving short stories, and that is that I believe it was Edgar Allan Poe, it was every detail or word that you put into a story has to be chosen intentionally and has a very specific intentional purpose. And so the singing and the mania and all this it's supposed to represent the tragedy of how someone can wake up from a psychotic episode or a manic or in kind of an innocent state and realize the gravity of reality and how harsh it can be. This is a story that, like I said, I don't have it anymore, but it was a wonderful story that I wrote. And I just wanted to go through the writing process of it and how, so that's what I'm doing in this video. But anyways, yeah.